Welcome to Destiny. We're going to be talking about in-game content here and what you do with the in-game. I have since played this for a while, played it almost too much, and there is some stuff that I feel like is not being pushed out that much. Maybe I should explain some stuff. The fastest way, besides doing a loot cave, is the grind for rep and marks, Vanguard or Crucible. But sadly, there's three factions. You put on a tabard. Here I have the Mark of the Rising for the new Monarch. Every rep you earn, besides the Queen faction, it gives you rep for the new Monarch. But I say if you do in a strike or something that would give you Vanguard rep, it would also give you new Monarch, but it also give you Vanguard marks. Vanguard marks are only for Vanguard rep. Crucible marks are for Crucible rep and the three faction rep. So it's very confusing there. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh my god. There's also other things called the Zur to get epics. So here we have the Crucible stuff. This is all only Crucible marks and Crucible rep. Once you get past rank 3 with your rank 3 with Crucible or even Vanguard, there's no point to leveling them. So you could put on your tabard for your faction, and every time you rank up, you do get a little package. So we see here, the helm is at 372. Here we go. It caps out at 372. My exotic is 402. Again, my hands cap out at 329, but Vanguard or Crucibles is 304.
You know where to find me.
So raid sets are going to give you better loot, with hard raid gear doing the best. Here we have the Agent of Nye. He's you get strange coins throughout the games, and you have a chance to purchase weapons here. So we have he's going to give you a weapon and a couple exotics, and then a slot with an engram that could be anything. It could be even one of these again. He also has these things that increase reputation, your experience gained from scout rifles, sniper rifles, or rocket launchers. And then you have these to upgrade your sparrows, which again, I do not understand why you would do that. And of course, you can buy heavy ammo synthesis. This guy comes in on Fridays and Saturdays at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then leave at Sunday 2 a.m. So you get strange coins. You can also, these are through Motes of Light, which you get through leveling. Right now, the current event going on is the Queen's Orders. It's another way to get epics, but again, it's sadly they patched it so people were doing them to upgrade your weapons and stuff here. So when you upgrade, you can increases reload speed. It's going to cost glimmer and all that stuff, and which is your currency. But then there's also mats you find on the Moon, Earth, Venus, and Mars. And then you need Ascended Shards, which can only be found in playlist strikes, doing vents, golding them. You're guaranteed one if you gold one, if for the first daily one, and then disenchanting stuff. You can get them from chests in the raids, but you won't. That's it. Here we are. We have the order. It's you can do a strike there, and you can get some epics, but you can't disenchant them. So it's another rep, but it's like a individual rep that never. So you get access to these pretty shitty purple shaders, really shitty emblems, again another tabard type of thing, and then kind of decent blues. These are always the same though. They require glimmer, unlike other factions that require Vanguard marks.
Until then.
I mean, it's nice if you really want that, but it's not worth it. Still, a lot of people try to look for loot caves and all that stuff. Personally, I don't find that interesting. since it was this week, they did a whole overall of the engrams. You got engrams a lot faster, and there was a huge debacle for that. But I believe loot is actually pretty good right now. Every time you identify an engram, you gain rep. Let's see here. And every rep you get up, every 3,000, every rank you go up, you get a, you go to your postman in here and he's just like, hey, and you get something here, and it's going to be a bunch of blues, and a chance for a legendary, and that legendary is guaranteed to be a legendary. When back in the days, or last week, it wasn't guaranteed. It was a 66% chance it was going to be a blue. So they removed that, and then, but there's also now a higher chance of getting in charge, which again is very nice. So that's pretty much in stuff. Let's see here. Let's go back to the orbit, and I'll show you some other stuff that they've been doing. But it's... Then I'll take you to the Vault of Glass, which is a very interesting raid. It reminds me a lot of Vanilla WoW. A lot of puzzles you gotta do, a lot of things. Somebody has to do something, you have to split into groups. But here we have the Queen's Orders. So you get a legendary, guaranteed to get a legendary from here. But they're going to be on par with the marks and the purchase. But you can't disenchant them. I also have weekly knights, which are guaranteed a legendary. You can get a legendary, but they're insanely fucking hard. So you get there's modifiers. So heavily shielded, heavily aggressive. Ammo only drops for the weapons you do and do not have. So these are really hard. If you're killing people with your assault rifle, it's only going to drop special, or your primary, it's going to only drop special and heavy, and vice versa in Bala. And minions don't flinch. Arc damage. So there is a modifier to help you. Arc damage from any source is greatly increased with. And then Nightfall is if everybody dies, you are thrown out of the instance. And it's a real heroic type of thing. There is also, the playlist for the heroic here. You are also capped at 100 Vanguard and Crucible Marks a week, with 200 overall. And then for Glimmer, 25,000 Glimmer is the cap. But if you want to get serious, don't fuck around and just buy ammo. You will need that in the raid. So we have a daily, which always has a chance to, will give you materials and an engram and, bonus XP. They're going to be a little bit harder and more aggressive. Or not, they won't flinch. And then with the weekly being a little bit easier, and they also give, strange coins. You can do this once a week. You can do every level once a week. So go here, you get 9. But if you go, you do this one, you get 3. You do this one again, you do 3. Total of 9 you can get. And then the raid here. So this is the Vault of Glass. It's hard and normal. Hard is not that bad. It's more of a gear check more than anything else. My group and I, we finished the normal. On the hard, you need max damage items. You need a 300 damage main weapon. And it's permadeath. Once you die in there, you're dead. You have to stay alive. There's no resing. In the raid, when you die, you're dead for, I think, 30 seconds, 25 seconds, and then somebody can come around and revive you. So to get into the Vault of Glass is actually really interesting. It's kind of like back in the days when you had to do something to actually get in, especially in WoW. In WoW, you had to do something to get in. This time, there is no key. There is an event you have to do, which is actually very interesting. I think it's really smart. A lot of the things they do in this is very smart. Oh wow, I'm actually in here. Holy shit. Huh. Fuck. Oh man. I did not know it would take me out of here. Or put me back in here. That's crazy. But this is after the first couple bosses. Jesus. Shit. actually in here. It's pretty crazy in here. There's like there's no real trash here. There's mobs called the Gorgons, which will instantly kill you if they Yeah, there's one right there. So I can't kill it because they're heavy duty shit. Yeah. And they just instantly kill you. So yeah, you kill them. It's really cool. There's really not much trash here. See where? Yeah, okay. Time detected. So once you wipe, you get thrown back into that. So let's guess go back into orbit, and then we'll look at the entrance because the entrance is not an entrance. It's an area in the Venus area region. So let's see here. Get on patrol. I think I gotta take a right. But there's really no loading screens too, which is really nice. But there's like behind the scenes streaming, so technically once you enter, there's really no load screens. Some of the first boss fight is a lot of, but the first actual boss fight where you're actually destroying the boss. It's not necessarily the first like boss fight that gives you loot. There's a chest, but you can get into. There's also, you have somebody picks up the shield. You break up into groups. You gotta kill the different kill mobs to prevent the
Well, let's see what we can turn up.
prevent the get overrun and all that stuff. So it's very interesting. It's not like, you know, the strikes are very just, you know, shoot shit and then try to survive. It's shoot shit, try to survive, and then dodge shit. The first event, there's actually green shit you have to knock it out, and if you get on it, you actually have to run to an area and get cleansed. Later on, you have that same thing, but then you have somebody with the item that will have to cleanse you. And then the final boss is fucking crazy. You actually get people have to be picked for which group they are, and you know, if they're going to be the teleporter group or defending the portal. And if you get if you defend the portal, you got to kill people around this pillar. And if you get teleported, you have to kill, you know, shit in this portal. And if people, you know, if one person dies, it's pretty crazy because you got to wait 30 seconds in this area because you can get overrun. A lot of shit. The main thing is the Vex. You know, they show the mobs are very similar. Not to. Is this it? But it's the mobs are not that interesting. I don't care for the Vex, but they're very similar. But it's pretty crazy. I mean, even like Mists of Pandaria, all that shit is very identical. I like Mists of Pandaria. I think it's here. Is this it? Yeah. So what happens is to get into the gate, you have to have you know, your group of 6 split up, and then and you gotta kill these guys, the Praetorians, which are like will disrupt your thing. So you stand in here, and then something happens. It's probably not gonna happen because you know, everybody needs to be on patterns. And a little column is formed in the middle. I think right there. And then once that event happens, mobs start spawning over there and start spawning there. One of these big guys with the Cyclops, you know, that guy right there. If they enter the room, the event slows down or is stopped if you get overrun. Once that is complete, once the spire is complete, this opens up and we just zone in, and it's pretty crazy. Not like it's hectic crazy, but it's like, oh my god, this is actually happening. This is a first-person shooter. This is something really crazy. From a person that has played a lot of MMOs, it is really a lot of the stuff they do in this is actually really cool. It's very smart. The controls are really Some of my friends that really are not a fan of console shooters, I could give a shit. but it feels good. The controls are good, and so it's very impressive. Yeah, this Praetorians you gotta kill. But that's pretty much it. Tuesday again, I'll try to stream more of that, maybe clip that up. But it's a very, once you start raiding and you get into that, it's crazy. It opens up the game a lot more, where you have to start like, hey, I need to focus. I need to actually, you know, instead of blowing my cash on shit and fucking around, I need to, like, you know, farm a little bit to upgrade my shit. Because your light level is based on your level is now based on your light, which is here it is. You know, light increases your level, increases your, which also therefore increases your damage. Once you get past 20, light also affects your damage too. Versus mobs of equivalent level, I guess. So, you know, the game's really smart, and I think, again, giving it a 6 or, you know, a D or something like that, it's very, very bad. At first I thought it was a 7. Now that it's you can do this raids and all, I'm doing this raids. You know, I really just found a group of people, and they were like, hey, do you want to join? And it's like, yeah, sure, fuck yeah. And so now we even have a raid schedule, which is pretty crazy. I haven't had a raid schedule since SOTOR. So it's pretty crazy. You know, and for an MMO, there's not really that many bugs. You know, there's a few bugs. If you like power slide to the portal, you will get glitched. But it's actually very impressive that they've gone through this without many bugs. You know, I've done SOTOR when it first came out. Within a month, we're already killing the final bosses, and it was like literally, you know, we could one-shot it or spend all night due to bugs. But it's a very impressive game, and I really think that if you're on the edge of buying this, maybe wait a little bit. Not wait a minute, but I'm hearing a lot of people returning it. If you're looking for the story, don't pick this up. There is a story, but it's so convoluted, and it's really not understanding. It's really like poorly put together. Really, nothing is explained. It's very generic. Of you are the chosen one. Hey, do everything. But also, hey, there's like 50,000 other people doing the same exact thing. You're the real chosen one. Some of the mobs are a little bit stupid. These hobgoblins, the backs, I feel like are the worst. But there's a lot of cool things in this game to do. The PvP is kind of broken. Some of the classes are not properly balanced. But hey, sooner or later they will get down to it. But it's pretty crazy doing your first raid and actually not wiping constantly. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos about Destiny from me.